Hello, EP 134. Today we're talking about leading change. In our class, I briefly mentioned during the session that some of the issues that we experienced as a nonprofit organization, were largely funded by government contracts. And so, the immense and immediate change that the pandemic brought on provided us a big challenge. And so, one of our programs, or actually a couple of our programs, had to eventually close down due to the funding loss. So we were faced with making two different decisions. One of them were, among the many actually, were the fact that we would have to close down those programs and lay off or furlough staff. And the other was, due to the illness, of course, and, the fear of the pandemic, we had a lot of attrition. And so the few things that were brought up yesterday were some essential points that you have to have when you're leading change. And so those 5 components are to, number 1, be PHYGITAL, which is a blend of digital and physical elements that we all had to figure out during the pandemic, was being able to be agile, being anti-fragile, to be exponential, and to be curious. And for us, in particularly, we had to, I believe we really had to do a full mixture of all those components. But mainly we had to be agile and exponential, because we had multiple, programs that were facing this challenge. And, we had to be PHYGITAL as well, and figure out which roles could stay home and work from home. And because we are essential business, some of the roles weren't able to do that so much, but we were able to do a lot of Zoom and incorporate a lot of that element. And we still, going forward to this day, we have to continue to be curious, because there's new things that are in our space now, as the new normal. And so so those were the key things we had to implement. And because of the struggle with the hiring, we were able to keep the business running, which was amazing. And due to our networking and leadership, we were able to find another program to fill those places. So that's where we were able to be agile and utilize our networking and be able to keep those houses going and keep those staff employed. But the other thing we had to do was, we figured out, was to just overhire, because the backfilling we had to do, plus the current roles that we were trying to hire for, we realized that if we overhired, that we were able to, keep things filled and kind of plan ahead. And so that's the ways that we dealt with the change. Other things that were really key in the message or the session yesterday were to improvise, to be creative, to understand stress, and also to find a way to give symbolic control. So the questions I have for you today, number 1, are to choose a way out of those 5 elements. If you can choose a way that you can continue to go forward in your organization by implementing more of that thing. Like maybe you want to say you want to be a more agile organization, a more anti-fragile organization. So decide which way you can do that and how you can do that, and share it in the comment. And then also number 2, if you had to go through the pandemic all over again, which nobody wants to do, I know, but if you had to, what is one way that you would find to give your staff some element of symbolic control? And that could be any way that you believe would work for you or your staff, or maybe if you're customer based, maybe what's a way you would give your customer a level of control. So that's it. Thanks so much. Have a great day.